Hello and welcome to another screencast here from Puppet Pals. Today I will talk about, in a short video, how to ace your IGCSE Chemistry and earn your A star. We will talk about this maybe 10 minutes, and I will try to give you as many tips and ideas how to approach this big goal. So let's have a quick overview. Start preparing early. Probably the most important tip, don't study last minute, especially for the triple science. We are not talking weeks in terms of early, but months. Start many months in advance before you have your IGCSE science exams. Understand the important concepts and be able to apply them. In chemistry, we have many concepts that we need to study and not only understand, but as well we need to be able to apply them to problems in the exams. This is where past papers come in the end. So first, learn them, understand them, and then apply them by solving past papers. Then we need to memorize a lot of facts in chemistry. How to do that, how to approach this, I will give you one tip, one of my own favorite study methods. When I did my school and when I studied in university, I studied biology, so a lot of facts to retain there once you're in university. And you can definitely master this with the right methods. And for sure, practice makes perfect in the end, especially past papers. Okay, so start early, make a revision timetable. So the best way to start preparing for your IGCSE Chemistry is, because it's such a vast syllabus, make a timetable, make a study timetable so that you have enough time to go through all the 14 topics in detail. You should start with revision during your last term in school, or maybe even in the term break before your last term starts, so that you have a couple of months for revising from topic 1 up to topic 14, the last topic. Use the IGCSE Chemistry syllabus to help you with planning and studying. The IGCSE Chemistry syllabus is amazing. It tells you exactly what you need to know so that you don't study things that you don't need to know. So this is probably the more important part here. Make use of the IGCSE Chemistry syllabus so you study everything that you need to know, but not too much, because it is already so much that you need to know. So make sure you don't learn things or you put things on your study timetable that are irrelevant. Then make a checklist that you use while you revise, that helps you analyze yourself, which concepts and topics do you not understand at all, which ones do you understand decently, and which ones do you fully understand. Topics that you understand decently, revise them again, maybe a week later or a few days later, until you can tick the box that you fully understand them. And still, topics that you do fully understand, go back to them from time to time and check on them again. Make your own revision. Also, again, these you can make these checklists by yourself, but there are a lot of them pre-made that you can find online that are specifically tailored for the IGCSE Chemistry syllabus, so just Google around there a little bit. When it comes to revision notes, if you have the time, again, if you start early, I really recommend you to make your own revision notes. Producing notes yourself helps you so much with understanding the concept. Now, there are a lot of very good resources out there online which you can find. I'm sure you already have your favorite home pages to study with, but making own revision notes is really the next step that will help you comprehend the concepts much better. Once you're finished with the topic and you have learned the concepts and the key terms and memorized the keywords and the definitions, you can go over past paper questions. I wouldn't recommend starting with full past papers yet because you haven't revised all the topics, but do past paper questions by topic. Here I recommend by starting with multiple choice questions first and then move into theory questions. Now again, you just check online, Google past paper questions by topic for IGCSE Chemistry, and enough resources will come up here. Now, memorizing facts, one very important thing when it comes to all the three sciences in IGCSE. You need to retain a lot of keywords and knowledge in these subjects. And yeah, the IGCSE sciences are known and feared probably for these many facts that you need to retain and remember. So one way that helped me a lot when I was in university and studied biology, and I had one exam after the other coming up, and for all these different topics in biology, and again we're talking a much more detailed level here, university level, and we had to remember so many keywords and terms, and what really saved me there was making my own flashcards. I had like a tower of flashcards at that time. And when you make flashcards, one problem you will run into over time is that the flashcards pile up. But again, you have to remember all of them. So organizing your flashcards is the next step that is really important. And I can just recommend make a flashcard organizer with maybe 3 categories. First category, I did the color coding wrong here, so it should go from red to green, obviously. First category should be new cards and eventual problem terms from previous cards that you have made. And these cards you study daily or every 2 or every 3 days. Then the next step are learned terms, which you feel comfortable with already, but you still need to practice them. And then the last step are the mastered terms, which you can pick up every now and then and see if you still know them. If there are cards there in the master level that when you pick them up and you see that they are a little bit problematic again, move them to the respective level so that you pick them up more frequently. And once you get a habit of making flashcards and using them, you will see you will really get good at being able to cite or state definitions, and that will as well help you to understand concepts much better once you do know the definitions of the important key terms. And the other cool thing about flashcards are that you can really take them anywhere, and whenever you have a couple of free minutes, you can grab a small stack and go through them and practice them, be it if you are on your way to school or on your way back home, in a bus or on a train. These are all perfect opportunities to pick up flashcards and study a little bit. Now let's have a closer look at the IGCSE Chemistry syllabus. The IGCSE Chemistry syllabus is split into 14 topics, and I will now quickly go over them and sorting them into levels of importance, not necessarily difficulty, but importance in my opinion. Now, for me personally, teaching IGCSE sciences for many years now, mainly in tuition courses, I feel that the most important topics that students really need to understand to the core to be able to understand the following topics. So these are basically our foundations to understand all 14 topics, you need to be a master in topic 1 and 3. So these should be the first 2 topics that you revise. And don't rush through them, especially these 2 topics. Take your time in these 2 topics until you fully understand them. These 2 topics are the foundation to understand the rest. If you struggle with topic 1 and 3 and you skip some things and you rush through them, you will struggle with the rest of the topics. So topic 1 and 3 will build your foundation to understand the rest of the syllabus. This is why they are, in my opinion, the 2 most important topics. They're not necessarily the most difficult ones, especially topic 1 is fairly easy, I think. It has some tricky parts that you need to understand. If you do understand them, they build a good foundation. Now, most of the other topics are then on the same level. They are the important topics, the important concepts that all link into important chemical concepts that you need to know. I've highlighted 2 with a little bit thicker border here, the stoichiometry part and the organic chemistry part. Now these 2 topics stand out on their own a little bit. They don't link so much into the rest of the syllabus. They are just something that might throw you off a little bit from your usual studies. They are a bit different, so just make sure that you are careful there a bit. Don't give up if you struggle there a little bit. Just take some extra time to understand topic 4 and 14. Now all the other topics that you can see with the orange border here, they will link into each other very nicely. They're all based mainly on topic 3 and 1. So again, make sure that you do understand topic 3 and 1 before you start revising these other topics. Then we have 4 topics which are just quite reading intensive, and we don't have too many concepts here. Topic 2 might get more important if you prepare for, when you prepare for the alternative to practical exam, but I think topic 2 is fairly easy, separation techniques and things like that. And then air, water, sulfur carbonates, it's a couple of chemical reactions, specific chemical reactions that you need to memorize here, but what makes them easier than the other topics is that there are not many new concepts to learn. So we are not really confronted with new concepts here. These topics are mainly just memorization of some important things. Whereas the other topics, we are confronted with concepts that we need to understand and be able to apply in the IGCSE exam. So this is my ranking of the topics. So one more time, if we go back again, the most important ones, in my opinion, topic 1 and 3, because they build the foundation. Then topic, the orange ones here, they build up on these foundations, except 4 and 14. They stand out on their own a little bit, a lot of new concepts here, so just make sure you get them, understand them, be able to apply them. And the easiest ones, because there's not much of new concepts here, are these 4 topics. So you can make use of that by when you design your study timetable and reserve different amounts of time for the different topics. So once you have completed your revision of the 14 topics, it depends on how much time you have left until your real IGCSE exams come up, but I can just recommend you to do as many past papers as possible. This will just help you retain your knowledge, will help you to apply the learned concepts and make you better at applying them, and it gets you used to the style of questions in IGCSE exams. And you will see, if you do many past papers, that you will see that questions start to repeat themselves, and you will get a feel for the pattern that questions come up with and how questions are structured, that part B of a question is based on part A or the initial information that you are given and things like that. So the more past papers you do, the more confident you will get in the end before the exam. See that you do past papers time limited as well, so try to finish them in the given amount of time available to you. For paper 5, if you do the alternative to practical to ace this paper, I think it is in chemistry, really it is the easiest paper, which causes a lot of trouble for many students, however, because they don't know how to prepare for the paper. For paper 5, if you prepare properly, it is the easiest paper to pass. Make sure you know the specific set of chemistry experiments that are covered in the IGCSE syllabus. If you know them, it's no problem. Practice in a couple of past papers. You have to be able to plan and conduct an experiment, outline an experiment, and just describe how you would conduct the experiment. You need to know how to refine an experiment, which means how to make it better, basically, and identify possible sources of error. And very important, you need to know about many chemical tests, which often is a neck breaker for many students because there are so many chemical tests. Now, in the syllabus, at the end in the appendix, you have 4 tables. You can see 2 on the right side of these 4 here that tell you all the chemical tests that you need to know. Make sure you memorize all of them. Again, make flashcards for them. Make sure you know them backwards and forwards from any direction, basically, that they can be approached. So if you have an aluminium cation, Al3+, know how to test for it, but the other way around as well. If you get a result, if you test with aqueous ammonia and you get a white precipitate that's insoluble in excess, then on the other hand you should know that this indicates aluminium ions. So know the tests in both directions. Just really practice them a lot, a couple of days before your practical paper or alternative to practical, and then you should be good to go. All right, these are all my tips for acing the IGCSE chemistry exams and earning your A stars. I hope this helps you, and yeah, if you like this video, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. This will help us reach more people like you. Have a good day, and I hope to see you in my next video.